Hey guys, my name is Luke. I thought I'd make a video in response to Engineer Oz's question, how's it coming along? I thought I'd give you a quick demo of what I've done so far. So first of all, you'll have to forgive me for the frame rate of this. Android doesn't really like running on Windows too much, so it is a little bit laggy on this emulator, but rest assured it does run quite quickly on an actual device. So the app I'm making was originally just going to be a Napes app for Android, but I've kind of extended that idea a little bit, and I kind of want to make a one-stop shop for Australian pilots. So, but the Napes weather side of things is the thing I'm working on at the moment, and as I create new functionality, I'll probably just roll it out as I go after being thoroughly tested, of course. So here we go. This is my app, NavBag. I'll just click on here. Now this is probably in a polished alpha state right now. So all the design, obviously, it's not going to be a whole thing of weather. These will just be tiles outlining the different kind of functionality of the app. But we'll go into weather at the moment. And yeah, so there's a couple of different things on this screen. At the top we've got saved items, and I'll talk you through those a little bit later. But other than that, we've got our briefings, as usual. Not all of these have been implemented just yet. As I said, I'm still working on those, and it's kind of getting to a polished alpha stage. But yeah, okay, let's have a look at location briefing, because that's fairly straightforward. If we pop in here, we have a form that's pretty self-explanatory for everyone who's done a location briefing before. I'll talk you through a couple of cool things. So first of all, the username and password for Air Services Australia will be saved in the background somewhere, so you don't have to continue putting those details in every time you want to get the location briefing, or any other briefing for that matter. And so let's fly to Brisbane, I think, from Coolangatta. So that might be Coolangatta. So yeah, so you fill it in like normal, and the first thing I'll show you guys is templates. So you can actually save briefing templates. You click on this little save button up here, and we'll enter in a name, so we can call this one Brisbane to Cooley, and we'll click on save, and yep, our template's saved, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, so let's just get the briefing for this at the moment, so we can hit submit. Now this will take a little bit longer than usual on an emulator, but on an actual device, the first time you do one of these, it'll take between 5 and 6 seconds. That's just because it's also got to log in, and every consecutive one after that, it's usually about a 2-second delay. So yeah, and then we have our briefing sitting here. Obviously it's a little bit kind of cramped in there at the moment, but yeah, I'll look at maybe zooming that in or out a little bit later. The other thing I want to show you is, now that we've run this briefing, we can actually save a static copy of it. So if we click on the save icon again, now that we're in the briefing, it'll default to what type of briefing it is, and the time and date. So we'll just click on that one to save, and then we'll head back to our main menu, back into weather. Cool, so let's have a look at the first thing that we did was create a template. So now in Save Briefing Templates, I can click on this, and oh, okay, I've done one before. I was practicing before I did this. Guilty. So yeah, this is the template we created earlier. So if I just click on that one now, it'll automatically go and fetch the briefing and display it once it's run. Cool. And so this is the updated briefing. Obviously the time in the emulator is not correct. This is actually the correct time. So this has just been refreshed as of right now. So now we'll go back, and we'll go back again. And you'll remember before that I actually saved the briefing once it had been run. So if I go into here now, save briefings, these are briefings that I've run and saved previously. So these ones can be accessed offline. Just gives you a little kind of blurb about how long ago you did it, and whatever the name was. And depending on briefing, which briefing it was, I also put in a description, so it'll just probably have the options that were set for that briefing. But yeah, so I can click on this and it'll open instantly. It doesn't have to go on the internet because this is just saved copy. So that's kind of the basic stuff. Obviously I'm still implementing a lot of the other briefings. Area briefing I've kind of done. It's fairly straightforward. We get our lovely picture of Australia that we're all used to seeing. You can click on these and grab the briefing, and you've all seen that before. But yeah, one of the things that I do want to show that I'm pretty impressed with is, and this is the thing that's taking me a little bit longer to do, and the reason why I'm only supporting versions of Android from 4 and above, is because if we put our mobile aside, we can also do it on tablets. Now I'm optimizing the layout for tablets as well, so they'll be exactly the same application, but depending on which type of device it's running on, it'll display a little bit differently, and I'll show you that now. So if I go into NavBag, it's our similar loading. It probably won't look like this. Again, it's just kind of early stages. If I go into weather, you'll notice it looks a little bit different. We've got our left-hand menu over here, exactly the same as we did on our phone, but because we've got a bit more screen real estate, we can use up a bit more. And you'll notice that the very first tab that it always pops into is Save Briefings, and I haven't actually run any Save Briefings on this one just yet. But yeah, so if we go into our location briefing now, I'll just show you what happens again on the phone. So if we go into our location briefing, it'll pop up on a new screen. If we do it on a tab, it just swaps to this one here and pops it up in here. Lots of in here's. It's probably not terribly descriptive, but hey, you get what I mean. And you can do the same thing, so we can go IVVN, 3 guesses where I live, and we'll go to Coolangatta. If we go submit, I'll fetch our location briefing. It's a bit slow on the emulator. Brilliant, and then we get our briefing, exactly like that. And so I'll save this one. Yeah, we'll just save it as that. That's great. We'll go back to our other screen. I'm also going to save this as a template because I like this briefing so much. And call this one Brisbane Cooley. Save. So now, when we go from our loading screen, our main screen, if we hit weather, it'll pop up with our save briefings and just say that's the one I wanted. We can click on that and it'll fetch it automatically. So, yay, 2 clicks away and you get all your briefings. So I'll just let that one load. Save that one again just so I can show you something else. Cool, that's saved. Go back. If I go to my save briefings now, they're both done fairly close together, but the other thing you can do, and this is fairly normal, is on Android devices, if you long click, it'll open up this context menu, and you can select as many different briefings as you want, and uncheck them all there. Go in here again. Sorry, this demo wasn't really well thought out. It was more of a spur of the moment kind of thing, and we can just delete briefings as needed. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've done so far. My goal is to hopefully, depending on how long it takes to get all the data licenses and stuff sorted, to have this out by the end of January. But yeah, so I'm going to look at purchasing the data licenses as soon as Air Services Australia gets back to work in the new year, and then hopefully that won't take much longer than a month and a half. As soon as I've got that, then this kind of functionality will be out, and obviously I would have included all of the bits here. At this stage, with the SPFIB, we're probably just looking at one stage, just because it's fairly tricky to implement doing multiple ones like you can on the website, but that might change as people request it, or if they don't request it, or if they want me to work on other things first. Yeah, so once this is out, not exactly sure where I'm going to go. I'll probably maybe look at doing some GPS stuff, or maybe some weight and balance calculators. It really depends on what you guys want. I'm sure when I release this, I'll have heaps of comments saying, yay, do this, do this. But yeah, so that's what I've got so far. Hope you enjoyed the little video, although it's 10 minutes now, so it's not so little. But if you have any other questions, maybe post them on the comments below, or if you you have any ideas for how I could do things better in here, if you don't like the way things look, yeah, just let me know. Any of the comments below is probably the easiest thing. Yep,